up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly.
Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. Coming to you live from the garage. I haven't put it up yet, but I will. Welcome to our Wednesday reading assembly, our first one of 2022. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, together we will. Every single Stukeley day we focus on. Our Stukeley motto is, our Stukeley curriculum is, our Stukeley plan for home learning is, 4 words that make the magic happen. Yes, they do. Right, everyone, I'm excited about our first reading assembly of this year. Now, if you remember last year, and we're going to do the same thing this year, last year we had a little bit of a chat about authors. Yes, we did. We did a lot of talk about Charles Dickens, a lot of talk about Roald Dahl. We did talk about other authors as well, but it was mainly Dahl and Dickens. And I know how much fun you had playing Dahl or Dickens. Can we? Yeah. We had a lot of fun playing Dahl or Dickens. Anyway, some of you will know this if you looked at the school Twitter over Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year, my family and I went to London for a couple of days, and we went and visited the Charles Dickens Museum, which is quite close to King's Cross Station. And lots of you will know that if you've been to London. You'll know about the station. Anyway, the Charles Dickens Museum is actually in one of his old houses. I'm not joking. So over the next few weeks, it's not going to be very long, hopefully not very boring. I'm going to share with you some photographs that I took from Charles Dickens' house, from the museum. I mean, it was amazing. And just so you know, I met some Charles Dickens experts there. I couldn't get them to do Mrs. Stevens' assembly because that would have been a little bit weird. But I met some Charles Dickens experts, and one man I spoke to, I think his name was Steve. He was a lovely man. Oh, what a lovely guy. He knew everything about Charles Dickens, and he told me that these things were true. So Dickens was born in 1812. He did have 10 children. Nearly all of them got to be adults. He definitely had lots of ravens, and his raven called Grip. Steve is sure that he's over the sea in America. He thinks he's in the Philadelphia Museum. And he said that Dickens was obsessed, absolutely obsessed with facing north. He wanted things tidy, he wanted things clean, and he wanted to face north. So all of that is true. Anyway, here's a photo of me outside the Charles Dickens Museum, outside his house when he lived in London. Incredible. And I'm just going to share the first picture with you, probably the most important picture. This is a picture of Charles Dickens' actual writing desk. This is the writing desk that he had in his last house before he died. So this is the desk he had at the last house before he died. I think he wrote Great Expectations at this desk. I'm not kidding. I think he wrote Great Expectations at this desk. He had it in a different house. It's also the desk where he died. He died while writing his last book. He never finished the book. Never got finished. He was halfway through it. And he actually died at this desk. Anyway, here's a picture of it. Wow. I mean, if any of you are going, seriously, if any of you are going to London with your family, get them to email me, get them to Google it. It's a brilliant, brilliant visit. The house looks like it did when Charles Dickens lived there with his family. And then after he lived in this house, he moved to another house. It's incredible. There's some incredible, and I'm going to show you more pictures over the next few weeks. Anyway, that's enough about Charles Dickens and me getting excited about his house. Let's move on to the book. Now, I've thought hard about the book. We've done some funny books. We've done some scary books. We've done some dramatic books. We've done some historical books. We've done some modern books. We've done some books about real life. We've done some imaginary books, some kind of creative stories. I've chosen a very, very famous story. Now, this story is more famous for being made into a film by the very famous film director Alfred Hitchcock. Now, lots of the adults will know about Alfred Hitchcock. He was a very famous director of quite scary or thrilling movies. Yeah, he directed a lot of very powerful films, but he actually took a very famous story and made it into an even more famous film. The book we're now reading is called The 39 Steps. Now, it was originally written by John Buchan. I think you say it like that, John Buchan. But this has been abridged. It's been made thinner and smaller, and it's actually had some pictures added. So this is called The 39 Steps. Listen to the blurb. You are going to love this blurb. Richard Hannay is in a race against time. Can he crack the code that could prevent an invasion? Or will the ruthless agents of the sinister Black Stone get to him first? Is anywhere safe? Who can he trust? And what is the secret of the 39 steps? I mean, you find me a better blurb. You find me a better blurb than that. Richard Hannay is in a race against time. Can he crack the code that could prevent an invasion? Or will the ruthless agents of the sinister Black Stone get to him first? Is anywhere safe? Who can he trust? And just what is the secret of the 39 steps? Now, this story has been turned into many films, many other programmes. We're reading the original, although it's abridged and it's been written recently. Let's do it. Chapter 1. Murder in Portland Place. Now, it's actually written in the first person, so it's written by somebody. Lots of you will know what this means. On that muggy June night in 1914, that's right, everyone, about the same time that Roald Dahl was born, about the same time. On that muggy night in June 1914, I must admit that I was feeling rather fed up with London. I'd spent most of my life as a mining engineer in the wilds of Rhodesia. My return to England had been incredibly dull and boring by comparison. I wanted life. I wanted some energy, but it didn't feel like I had any in this capital city. Yet, as I walked back to my rented house that evening, I had no idea what breathtaking adventures lay ahead of me. I had just turned my key in the lock when a slim, bearded man appeared from nowhere and bundled me indoors. "What on earth?" I said. Pardon the intrusion, Mr. Hannay," panted the stranger. He dashed across to the window and peered down, looking at the street cautiously. How do you know my name?" I said. "Oh, I know a fair deal about you," he said. "Mainly that you're a man that can be trusted." I had no idea what was going on. Who was this strange man, and what did he know about me? I was intrigued by him, despite my better judgment. My name is Scudder, Franklin P. Scudder," he said, "and I need your help, sir." "I'll listen to you," I replied, switching on the light. "But that's all I'll do. That's all I'll promise right now, is that I'll listen to you. Now, what do you want? Talk to me." Scudder took a seat with his back to the window. "Mr. Hannay," he said, still panting, "here in London, on June 15th, somebody will attempt to assassinate a man called Carolides." Now, assassinate means to kill. Now, I'd read about Carolides in the papers. He was the Greek premier, the Greek prime minister, and he was the only one that could stop there being a war in Europe. Why on earth would somebody want to kill him? "If I can lay low, if I can hide for a while, I think that I can stop this disaster happening," said Scudder. "But who on earth would want Carolides dead?" I asked. Still panting, Scudder told me. "A group of foreign agents, dangerous agents. They are known as the Black Stone, and they want Carolides dead. They're on my tail. They're chasing me, and they will stop at nothing to get to me." The young man's eyes looked quickly out of the window. "The head of the Black Stone, the head of that organisation, really wants to make my acquaintance. He's coming after me." Now, the look on this man's face, the look on Scudder's face, spoke volumes. It told me so much. This gang leader, this leader of the Black Stone, was obviously a force to be reckoned with. He's a master of disguise, Mr. Hannay," he went on, raising his hand in the air. "But if you ever encounter a man missing the top joint of his fourth finger, then be on guard, Mr. Hannay. Be on guard." So basically, Scudder's telling him that the leader of this gang, or someone in the Blackstone gang, has lost the top of their fourth finger on their right hand. This whole tale, this whole story seemed far-fetched. I could not believe it. Yet, if this man, Scudder, was telling me a whole yarn, if he was telling me a whole load of rubbish information, then he was a darn good actor. I thought for a moment. I wanted some excitement. London was dull. London was tedious. Well, here's the excitement right on the doorstep. Then I turned to Scudder and told him, "Very well, I trust you. I think you're straight. I think that you're telling me the truth. But if not, I should warn you. I'm a handy man with a gun." Scudder, still panting, grabbed my hands. He clasped them in his. Thank you, Mr. Hannay. You won't know that I'm here." The next 4 days passed quite rapidly, quite quickly, and Scudder was as good as his word. He spent most of his time closeted in my study, scribbling away in a small black notebook. So there's Scudder, and there is Mr. Hannay. Then, on the 5th day, I returned home in the early hours of the morning. I switched on the hall light and opened the drawing room door. The scene in front of me sent a shudder of horror down my spine. There upon the floor lay the body of Franklin P. Scudder, pierced through the heart by a knife. Oh, what a first chapter! What a first chapter! Now, I'm going to show you most of the picture because it's a bit of a gruesome one. So there's Mr. Hannay in the doorway. He's just got back. And there is Franklin P. Scudder, lying on the floor. He has been murdered. Okay. Wow, what a first chapter. Franklin P. Scudder has found Mr. Hannay. Mr. Hannay's never met him before, but obviously Mr. Hannay must have a mysterious role, a mysterious job, because Franklin P. Scudder's fans said, Mr. Hannay, you don't know me, but I need you to protect me. I need you to keep me safe. I need to stop the Greek premier, Karolides, getting killed. Please help me. 4 days later, Franklin P. Scudder is dead, and it's probably one of the Blackstone gang. That's the first chapter. I mean, come on. Right, brilliant, right. From a really exciting start to Reading Assembly to a disappointing middle, I haven't been able to record the first cheer boo song or silence of 2022. You know why. Go on, say it. Yeah. Slimming World got in, the Karate got in the hall, and then Slimming World got in the hall. I couldn't get in. I'm going to do my best to record it next week. And because I don't want Assembly to be too long, I'm not actually going to put a cheer boo song or silence in here. I'm going to finish, because what time are we on? Oh yes, crikey, we've had a few minutes already. We're going to finish with birthdays and everyday knowledge for you. Let's do it.
Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Oh, come on!
No birthdays today, but we have got 3 tomorrow. So if it's your birthday tomorrow, start getting excited. Right, let's finish with everyday knowledge for you. I'm not going to do that every time because I know I've done it already, but I just thought it's funny. Here we go.
And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. And we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you.
Okay, everyday knowledge. You all know that we've started off this year with an arty theme. We have gone for artists. Yes, we have. I'm going to move over here. Oh, here are our first 3 pieces of art. You should know these 3, and you should know the artist. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Can you please tell me the top piece of art, the bottom piece of art, and the far piece of art? So I want the names of the artwork. The names of the artwork. Can you give me the top piece, the bottom piece, and the furthest piece? Off you go. Okay, everyone. Now you should have given me Campbell's soup cans, Starry Night, and The Scream. That's what you should have given me. Now can you please give me the 3 artists? We've got the top artist, the bottom artist, and the furthest artist. Okay, now hopefully you've given me Andy Warhol, Vincent van Gogh, and Edvard Munch. Those are the 3 artists. Okay, last question about these 3. Can you give me the country in which these artists were born? Their country of birth, and maybe the country where they produced these beautiful artworks. Off we go. You may not know these, so it'll be a good reminder now. Okay, hopefully you gave me. So Andy Warhol, he was American. Vincent van Gogh, he was from Holland or the Netherlands. And then you've got Edvard Munch, was from Norway. He was Norwegian. Okay, brilliant. Right, I'm now going to step over here. And in a moment, I'm going to disappear right now. Okay, I've made this one massive. because it is massive. It's an enormous sculpture. So you've just got to pretend that I'm doing the finger, thumb, pointy thing. When I tell you I'm doing the pointy thing, can you please tell me the name of this enormous sculpture, which is in the north of England? Right. Finger, finger, fingertips, go! That's right, it's the Angel of the North. Now, can you please tell me the name of the artist, the name of the sculptor that produced it? He's a British sculptor. I'm now going to do the fingery, thumb, pointy thing. So, name of the sculptor, name of the artist, please. Finger, finger, fingertips, go! Anthony Gormley, that's right, well done. And back in the room. Right, okay, now, just before we finish, here is a brand new piece of artwork. Now I can tell you that this piece of art is called Bush Tucker. Let's see if you can remember that. Wait for the fingers. What's it called? Bush Tucker, that's right. And this piece of art was produced, was made, was created by a lady called Loon Coonan. Loon Coonan. Let's see if you can say that. Wait for the fingers. Loon Coonan. That's right, Loon Coonan. Now, Loon Coonan was an Australian lady. She was an Aboriginal lady. She died only a few years ago, but the incredible fact about her is that she created this famous art. She created these amazing images depicting the countryside and the Aboriginal landscape. She only started making them when she was over 100 years old. It's true. So this is Bush Tucker by Loon Coonan. Google her if you want more information. She produced some cracking art. See you next time.